Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We'll be getting started shortly. And actually we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing well. We're going to be going over some ideas, some swing ideas for this week, and actually some couple of cryptocurrency ideas. But before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimer to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description. And if you find benefit in today's video and like to help support our channel, please be sure to subscribe, be sure to hit the like button. And lastly, if you have any questions for us, please email us info@t3live.com. Again, info@t3live.com. All right, here we go. So I'm going to start off first with Bitcoin because it is doing an amazing 1, 2, 3 setup. So I like it higher on the weekly chart over the highs, whatever the highest point is. I think it's 31,443. So let's say 31,500. Stop would be under this bar's low, which is 29,400. So it's not a tight stop, but this would be a long-term play. The next target area is like 48,000. So it's like almost it's a $2,000 stop actually, but has plenty of room. And then the same with Ethereum. It's a lot weaker on the weekly chart, excuse me, but it's the same exact setup. 1, 2, 3, so long would be right here. It's 1950. Stop under, I think 18. No, hold on. Let me just double check. Stop would be under 1816, and the entry would be over 1950. I like it. I actually like Ethereum probably more off the daily chart. So yeah, can actually use a tighter stop too, over 1950, and the stop under 1885. Just an idea. I like both Bitcoin, Ethereum. I like also Litecoin, but it's actually not late at all on the 1, 2, 3. It's just that I normally don't like to play long right after a ginormous bar, and this bar was like 30%. But it is doing a 1, 2, 3 and triggering just right here, right now. Okay, so those are some ideas, cryptocurrency ideas. Back to the US stock market. We had a buy setup, a pullback that was a little bit shaky. Notice the big green bar right here got ignored. So it was off to a rough start, and then we gapped up on Friday to close bullish. The problem that I see with the gap in the Qs, the SPY, is that we might also double top. So if we take out Friday's low, then I would expect the market to, at the very least, close the gap, come back down to here, okay, at the very least. So barring a break of 441 on the SPY, on the Qs it would be 367, okay. I'm going to be bullish. Just barring a break of Friday's low, I'm going to be bullish. And here's some ideas. I have a longer list in the description of the video. This is just what these are the ones that I'm going to go over right now, but I have a longer list in the description if you want to get it. ALTO 1, 2, 3, 4. So the igniting bar and a couple of narrow range bars. That's called the 1, 2, 3, 4 pattern. Long over the highs, stop under Thursday's low. Okay, looks pretty good on the ALTO. Bitfarms already an open position, but it hasn't really gone anywhere. And it has a 1, 2, 3 on the weekly chart. It is following Bitcoin, that's why. And Bitcoin, as you know, has a 1, 2, 3. So over 157, stop under 135. It's a 20-cent stop, 23. DG, I had it in last week's video as an idea on the hourly based breakout. It worked. Now has a buy setup, so a pullback. 20 MA on the daily starting to point up. It triggered on Friday, but I didn't see it trigger. So long over Friday's high, stop under the base. Okay, so I like it. DG, FGEN, it triggered also on Friday, but it's not late at all, over 281. stop under 247 or under 259, and target would be 380. It's an hourly breakout. The issue with it is when it triggered on Friday, you would have, it would have been nice if it had closed as a nice solid green bar, not a bar with a tail. So I'm not sure this is going to trigger, but we would really want to see a solid close, a solid green bar, not like this. But hopefully we'll get that on Monday. Monday is half day, only market is open only until 1 p.m. But hey, the swing as long as they trigger during the day on Monday, they'll be valid for me. Intuit is setting up as a long-term play probably. This is weekly chart on Intuit. Here's the monthly. I like it, but it's a little bit sloppy. I always like long-term plays because they can have a really big move. So over the base, stop right here and target the all-time high, basically, on Intuit. Again, it's a bit sloppy, especially if you look at the daily chart, but over the base, stop under this pivot right here. Okay, IPGP, nice daily base breakout, nicer weekly 1 2 3 4. Okay, the 200 MA, the red line above, not great. That's why I would consider that to be target 1. Okay, and the entry for it would be over 137.40, 137.50. Stop under 127.80. Target 1 up here about 148, and then target 2 up here 175. Okay, so that's IPGP. The MDXG is a weekly 1 2 3. So long over this bar's high 680, stop under 634, 50-cent stop, and target about 870 or so. Okay, the prior pivot high. The Marines looks better on the daily chart, so it's a base breakout. Like it higher over the daily highs. Okay, stop under 980. So the entry would be over 1115 by 980. The MSTR would be a play on Bitcoin, long over this bar's high, which is 353. Let's just say I would give it to 301 as the stop, and target is $500. Longer term play. Okay, can also do the Beto. I'm in it already, but basically over the base, stop under the red bar's low, basically. Okay, a PDM is a transition A on the daily chart, so like it higher over the base, stop under this green bar's low. It looks like it's over 743. I always give it a little bit of room above. I don't want to say I don't ever, but I don't usually put it at 744 because I don't want to get tagged by a penny or two. So I usually give it a little bit of room. So let's say 746, stop under 708, and target the 200 MA, which is about 875. SHC, really bullish, move up. Let's take a look at the weekly chart, and the weekly will be a breakout plus a 1 2 3. So the entry actually is over that doji bar's high, which is last week's high. 1930 by 1793, target about $25. Looks nice on the weekly. The TELL is similar to the PDM, which is a transition A base breakout. So over the base, it's actually a really nice base. The issue with it is the R to R, low R to R. So long right here, stop right here, target right there, basically the prior high in the 200. So the issue again is the reward to risk is low, unless one uses, let's say, Thursday's low as the stop. If you use Thursday's low as the stop, then it would have enough R to R. Lastly is the WBX, which is a 1 2 3 pattern plus a transition A, but you got resistance not far above at $4. So long over 358, stop under 339. Target 4, maybe 450 for target 2. Those are some of the long ideas that I got. Again, the rest of the ideas are in the description of the video. The shorts, we got BTAI 1 2 3. When the bar closes, the second bar, So here's the igniting bar, or the the wide range bar. When the second bar closes at the bottom, or close to the bottom, let's just say like so, right? Very close to the bottom, not exactly at the bottom. Then I use the break of both bars 1 and 2, the two bars. I use the break of both bars as my entry. When the second bar closes well above the first bar's low, then I can't wait for it to break to trade all the way down to here before I get in it. So I would have to use Friday's low as my entry, which I don't like as much. I would rather use the 588 Thursday's low, but again, it would be too big of a drop if I waited. So 642 under 640, stop over 715 on the BTAI. Moderna, wow, Moderna was a $500 stock, if I am not mistaken. Maybe more. No, it's $497. And funny how buy the rumor, sell the news. As soon as they found the vaccine, when was the vaccine found? I think it was actually in early 2021. So it didn't come in right away, but in anticipation of the vaccine, it went way up from like $10. I mean, that's crazy. 11, and then the pandemic didn't really start until beginning of 2020. So let's say from 20 to 500, and then it topped, and now it's at 121, looking lower. Wow. I mean, once it breaks the lows here, next stop looks like it's headed down to $60-50 range. Has a daily sell setup. So short under 121.30, but let's just say 121, stop over 123.61. Daily sell setup. OKTA, super weak. I just wish it didn't have the support right below. So here's the entry, here's the stop, but it has support right below. So that's my issue with it, but really, really weak. Here's the weekly chart, and here's the monthly. Weekly sell setup. Monthly looks like it's gonna crash. Does need to take out 66.80, and honestly looks lower to 50 if it can take out 66.80. So that's OKTA. RAD is an hourly based breakdown, daily based breakdown, but I like it more on the hourly, under $1.50. Stop over, I think, $1.64. Looks like it's $1.62. $1.63. Thursday's high. So under 150 by $1.63. UNFI is super tight. I mentioned it last week, but it never, well, it did trigger, but I had an order for it under 19.50, like 47, I think, and it has not triggered. So I like it a lot lower. The base on the daily chart is a bit slanted, so it's hard to figure out where to put the stop. When it's a straight base, you just put it above the base. When it's a slanted base, well, where's the top of that base? You see what I mean? So it's hard. So that's really the right stop, but then it would be a very wide stop. So maybe just over here, okay, on the UNFI. WBA is weak. It's not a very tight stop, but basically under last week's range, stop above it. No other place to put the stop. There is one other place, which is over Friday's high, but then it would be super tight, okay. And lastly, it's the XPOF, which is going to be an hourly based breakdown. So under the base, right here, these bars, stop right here, or this pivot, okay. I use the hourly and the daily for the hourly, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, right? For swing trading, I start off by finding patterns on the daily, and I just make sure they look good on the hourly and the weekly, and sometimes even the monthly, right? I just want to make sure they look good on the daily and the hourly, and not in conflict with the weekly and the monthly. So that's what I should have said. I want to make sure they look good on the daily and the hourly, and not in conflict with the weekly or the monthly. All right. Okay, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you can put some of these ideas to use and make good money from them. And I want to say, wish you an early, happy 4th of July. I will talk to you on the next video. Thank you so much, and have a great holiday. Take care, everyone.